Hello everybody, welcome to not only another live stream, but it's next gen week, baby. Oh my god. Okay, so first off, good morning to my Pacific Coast folks, good afternoon to East Coast folks, and to those across the seas, happy November 13th or November whatever it is for you, because I've had to witness so many of people across the seas having their systems already, and I'm just like, ya bastards. But yeah, it is November 10th, which means this is the day the Series S and X comes out. 2 days from now, the PlayStation 5 and the PS5 digital comes out. It is next gen week, and I wanted to celebrate and talk about it with you for a little bit, have an excuse to do a live stream and to chit chat and just address a few things that I've been seeing too, because last week we got like full-on reviews for both systems. Well, I should say all three systems. I'm gonna say three systems, because the PS5 is basically the same. And there's a lot of information that came out about those, so I want to discuss that and kind of also say thank you and kind of maybe address some comments that I've been seeing on these two videos I put up, being 5 reasons to get Series X, 5 reasons to get PS5, because you could be a fan and support both. Isn't that amazing? So I thought I'd address a few things there, and I do have the chat hidden from the screen, like, because usually I have the chat on screen, but unfortunately, we're just going to attract a lot of poisonous folks, unfortunately. Like, I've been seeing that a lot the past week or two here on those two videos that are performing fantastically, even though they're getting a shit ton of dislikes. They're still performing phenomenally, so thank you for that. But I just want to hang out with you. So, hello. I did see Katie was here earlier, aka Addie. Sorry I missed seeing you in Sandy this last weekend, but had a good trip. And I also see, let's see, Anshul Aura, waiting. Nikita, there's Nike. What's up, dude? Actually, is that... No, Nike and Nikita are two different people, am I correct? Farah Fakhri? They just made me say the F word, didn't they? But hello, thank you so much for coming by. And Farah also says it's November 10th for me. It's unless you're in Japan, it's November 10th. It's November 10th for everybody right now. And that's one cool thing I want to say right off the bat here. I freaking love that Series X and S is coming out like worldwide November 10th. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it has a universal launch date, and that's bonkers, and I freaking appreciate that. But yeah, so to anybody here, what is the first thought you got? Because I have some things I want to bring up too, but there's things like there's a shocking thing that I posted on my community tab about the load times. I want to bring that up. There is some shocking shit I was seeing about the load times for these systems. There is also some news that I just found out this morning that was apparently said last week about the PS5 that I am just genuinely shocked about also. There's a lot of things about the PS5 that's legitimately shocking me, not because I want to be a fanboy. It's just like, oh, Xbox is so much better. No, that's not how I do things. And if you think that is, have fun thinking that shit. But there's just genuine things about the PS5 that's really shocking me from this past week. And I'm curious if you think, like, you know what I'm talking about, whatever. I spoiled one in my community tab because I wanted to do a video about it, then I didn't. But Just a Gamer on PUBG says, yo, sup, dude. What do you think about these next-gen things? So if you're here in the chat, I want to know, like, anything about next-gen stuff you want to bring up, please do so, because I'm excited to hang with you for probably about an hour, maybe. But boy, oh boy, I almost wish I could have a guest to pop up on here, but it's been a while since we had a live stream too. But I just want to pull up this freaking test, but there was some weird, oh, the Pathless has a review. That's awesome. There was this test for the PS5. Let's see if I have do I have a B-roll screen? Oh, okay, that works. GameSpot load times. Yeah, so this blew my mind when I first saw it. I'm going to mute it for a moment, but this blew my mind when they tested this out because, hang on, before I play this, I need to make sure I see you guys in another chat. There we go. Let's see who else just showed up here. Illusions Gaming. What's shocking about the PS5? Okay, well, this is the first thing. Yeah, the SSD. Yeah, I can't read your name, whoever's the last message, but this is. So this is a test, and this isn't the only one. This is GameSpot, but there's also from Trusted Reviewer. That's literally the name, Trusted Reviewer or Trusted Reviewers. They're doing these tests on backwards compatible games for both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, and for some reason, the PlayStation 5 with its twice as fast hard drive, or sorry, SSD, its twice as fast drive is not loading games as quick as the Xbox is. And that's bloody insane. I'm not British, but that's bloody insane. Because you might think that I'm just some Xbox fanboy that wants to point out everything that Xbox does better, but I 100% was on the side that PlayStation 5 is going to load things faster. I was 100% on that train. PlayStation 5 is going to load things faster, plain and simple. And this is Red Dead Redemption 2 loading on PlayStation 5. Now, this is the best example. This is not the best example. But here you see the game's trying to load things up, and it looked like the splash screen in particular. The PlayStation 5 takes a lot longer with the splash screen, like when you first boot up the game. And I think it's about to wrap up now. Like, I think it's at the minute mark. And keep in mind, though, this may just be the first example, and it's a negligible difference by like 1 second. Like here, it loaded by like 10 milliseconds faster on the Xbox. But keep this shit in mind. It's 10 milliseconds faster. Oh, whoop-de-doo, that's no difference. But the PlayStation 5 is twice as fast. It's an SSD that's twice as fast as the Series X is. So why does this happen? Right? If it's twice as fast as an SSD, and everybody kept commenting on my videos like, oh, PS5 has a quick resume-like feature too. It doesn't. I heard Kind of Funny talk about this. I heard IGN talk about this. I heard GameSpot talk about this. Nobody is saying quick resumes is on the PS5. It's not. And so I'm wondering, is it that velocity architecture doing its freaking work? I don't know. It's mind-blowing. But that's just Red Dead. But take a look at this Final Fantasy example. This is Final Fantasy 15. Okay. And I don't know. And by the way, I see Addie's back here in the chat, who is a very adamant person about the load times that was in Final Fantasy 15. And that's why she didn't want to fast travel anywhere, because it takes forever with the loading screens. But watch this example of Final Fantasy 15. And I think Trusted Reviewers also did the same game. And it was like the same exact results. But I just don't get it. I really don't. It has to be the way that they built the Xbox. So we're already at the loads, like the actual menu here on the Xbox, and they take the same amount of time to boot up the game. You're going to think that they don't, but it really is. If it's off by like 10 milliseconds, whatever. But here we are. The Series X loaded up 48 seconds. PS5 is still going. This twice as fast hard drive is still going. Sorry, I keep saying hard drive. It's not hard drive anymore. This twice as fast drive, it's still going. So I don't know. I don't, it's mind blowing to me. A whole 22 seconds for a drive that's twice as fast. I don't know. I think that is insane. I legitimately, I'm not trying to like be some fanboy that's like, look why Xbox is better. I'm just legitimately shocked, because I thought 100% the thing that is way more like on the advantage of the PlayStation 5 is the load times. And you need to know this is not going to be the same thing with newer games. This is not like this is for backwards compatible games. So maybe Xbox, which they've already stated, like there's so many things that kind of prove this. Maybe it's because it's just built to handle backwards compatible games much better than PS5 is, which I would believe. So for newer games, like let's say, you know, multi-plat ones like Assassin's Creed, Cyberpunk, what else is coming out after this launch? So funny, I couldn't remember. Dirt 5. Maybe we'll see those games load faster on PS5. Maybe, I don't know. But for some reason, like what was that Destiny one? Destiny 2 loaded 15 seconds. 15 seconds quicker. I don't know. I just legitimately am shocked. I don't get it. Jethawk, welcome to the stream, man. We're just going over how like it's really weird that even though the PS5's SSD is twice as fast as the Xbox Series X's is, it's not loading games as fast. It's just not. And it's really weird. But these are backwards compatible games. So we'll see how like third-party stuff works. But that's just mind-blowing to me. I was not expecting this at all. But anyways, what do you guys think about this? Because I legitimately wanted to do an entire video about this. I still might, especially after we do more tests, you know, with this week and stuff, what people come up with. Look, again, Monster Hunter World loaded at 35 seconds. PS5 is still going. I don't know. I'm legitimately shocked by this. Let's see. Yeah. I just can't believe that shit. 16 seconds. For something that's twice as fast. I don't know. Katie, yeah, I'm telling you, the load times were insane. Steffi's here. Hi, Steffi. Whoa. And that is fast in comparison. But it's good to see you, Jethawk. Let's see. Illusion Gaming. I think it's optimized. So this is Arkham Knight too. I think it's optimized for the Series X and maybe not the PS5. It's just backwards compatible stuff. Like all the games they're running here, none of them are like optimized. You know, they don't have that optimized for Series X badge. They're all just games that are running on the systems. So I don't know. I see another message here. It shows you that Sony is not really good with technology like Mark. I mean, you know, what's a few seconds, right? But the only reason this is a big point to me is because of... The only reason this is a big point to me is just because of how much faster the PS5's is. Here we are, Arkham Knight, 58 seconds. PS5 is still going. It's still going. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, that was by 9 seconds. I don't know, man. That is really interesting to me. That is legitimately shocking. There was one, though, that trusted reviewer reviews load times. Yeah, this one. I put this on my community tab. There's one though, The Witcher 3 loaded quicker. So I don't know. But again, this is not me trying to be a fanboy or nothing. This is just me sharing my genuine shock. That's all. I'm not trying to make a point or anything. I just find it so damn interesting. But now we have switched around. So PlayStation 5 is on the left, Xbox Series X is on the right. And they're skipping the splash screens, but it's still the same as except for Witcher 3, which you'll see. Jethawk, yeah, I heard how that's a thing and it's ridiculous. Bro, have you heard how these major retailers flopped on people's... Well, it depends on what you mean, Jethawk, because I've heard all kinds of things for retailers and I dealt with it firsthand. But yeah, no, the retailers didn't handle these next-gen systems very well this year, truly. So, I don't know. What do you mean specifically? I'd love to know what you mean specifically. But here's Nato, I haven't read it yet, but here to make the case. I haven't read the message, but I bet you it's going to be something like, I don't really care about load times. It's all Gucci as long as I get to play the games I want. Which I would agree if that's what he says. I don't think it really matters. I don't think it really matters that much, especially since no one's going to be comparing load times in realistically. I mean, the tech folks like me care about it. Like, I definitely am into the techie stuff. Digital Foundry as well. It's just something that is going to be kind of interesting to... Because, you know, you see Xbox boasting about its power. You see PlayStation boasting about their speed. But if you boasted about something that isn't matching what the other guy is doing, what does that say? I just find that interesting. I think it's an interesting point, but that's just me. If you don't care about the techie stuff, if you don't care about what guys are boasting, and you don't care about anything, like, obviously it's all about the games. It's all about the games. Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds loaded 20 seconds quicker on its Series X. And I didn't look at The Witcher 3, by the way. The Witcher 3... See, The Witcher 3 was a 1-1. For some reason, The Witcher 3 loaded way faster in the PlayStation 5 than the Series X. So I don't know. It's not going to be every single game out there, but for some reason, man. Farah, wow, I did not know that. It's just weird, man. Because I'm not some fanboy that only wants to look at the good of my side and just look at the bad of the other side. I look at the good of both things, and I totally thought the PlayStation 5's thing was going to be all about the speed. Which, again, I want to restate this for those that just joined, because now we have like 30 people watching, and earlier we only had 8 when I said this. What was this, Yakuza? So here's another example. Yakuza loaded 2 seconds faster on the PlayStation 5. Negligible difference. But the fact that the Series X is not only keeping up, like, that alone should be something to note, that it's keeping up when it's half the speed of the PlayStation 5. And it's still able to keep up. That shit's bonkers to me. That's bonkers. But earlier I was saying how this is for backwards compatible games, though, which maybe Xbox built, which they probably did. They built that system to run backwards compatible games much better, as I made a point about too. And this is kind of potentially proving that. But when we see things like Valhalla and Cyberpunk, who knows? Maybe with, newer titles, PlayStation 5 will load those much quicker. I think that could be a total possibility, and I'm really curious to see that. I really want to see how that goes. And I'm really excited to see that. Like, me personally, you won't care about that, but like you might not care about that, but I do, and I think that's really just interesting. Here's Nier Automata. It loaded 3 seconds faster on Xbox. I don't know. Just crazy. Spider-Man looks gorgeous with ray tracing, by the way. I have to say that. It looks freaking gorgeous with ray tracing. So that's kind of like a first point I wanted to make that I personally find insanely interesting. What do you think about that, though? Let's chat for a moment. By the way, thank you so much for coming. We are in the next gen week. This is not for me to point out, like, I admit there's another thing I want to point out that I found out, like, just this morning, but apparently it was said last week, that is also shocking to me. And I'm legitimately confused why it's being a thing. And I want to share that too. But before I do that, just want to say hi to the chat. Thank you so much for coming. Again, Jethawk, Nato, and Sister is here as well. Kim, thank you guys very much for coming. We got some new folks. We went from like 8 folks to over 20, I think. So thank you guys very much for coming. Next Gen Week is here. Today, the Series S and X launches. And then 2 days from now, the PS5. It is finally time, brothers. It is finally time. I'm so stoked. Let's see. Jethawk. And by the way, I have the chat hidden because I am worried after how these 2 videos I did about the PS5, like 5 reasons to get a PS5, 5 reasons to get a Series X, performing great, by the way, but the Series X one is doing phenomenally. It is the best discussion video in terms of engagement. It is the highest performing discussion video I have had since before my hijacking, and I shared my first Smash Bros. Characters predictions. It's doing phenomenally, so thank you for that. Even though, it's because there's so many people that are hating on it, it's still doing great. So, because of those videos, I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to attract those toxic folks here, and I don't want to have that on screen, so I don't even want to humor them with that bullshit. But if you would like a prioritized message for me to get into as well as support the channel, highly appreciate you going to the description and consider becoming either a patron or to do a little tip donation. It means a lot to me and keeps things afloat. And to help pay off this stupidly expensive TV I got that arrived before this stream. I thought it was going to arrive during. But anyways, let's see. So now to the chat. Jethawk. Some people get in PS5 at the end of the month. Sam's Club. Some people getting their Xbox Series X till late December. Amazon announced that. That's nuts, man. Oh, gotcha. That's why I didn't pre-order from Walmart, Jet, because I saw like Walmart's like, your order might not arrive till December. Is this okay? I'm like, no, it's not okay. So I don't know, man. Retailers, they sold more than they had. That's basically what happened. They sold more than they had. But maybe it's also because so many people came at once. So I don't know. Vox, your name is one of my favorite apps, by the way. Isn't it because Xbox optimized backwards compatible games better and or the games are relying on CPU and GPU? That's what I think, Fox. That's what I'm saying. I have a feeling older games, they're going to run the best on Xbox, period. But the newer games, that's still probably going to be true, but they'll load faster on PS5. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm really anxious to see if I get proven wrong on that. I'm really anxious. Me personally, if you don't care about it, totally understand. Just play the games. Don't worry about the techie shit. Don't worry about if a game can run 4K 60 frames locked. Don't worry about that shit. Just play the games. Have fun. This is just me and a few other people that actually enjoy the tech talk. But anyways, here's Nato. Exactly. Games are the only thing I'm concerned with. All the other stuff is just extra. Exactly. There you go. Let's see. Nikita. What did I miss? I was working. Damn it, Nikita. We're just talking about how the PS5 for some reason is loading games slower. Not all the time, but like it's either slower or just about the same as the Series X when it's twice as fast of a SSD. That's basically what we've been talking about so far. And how retailers screwed up. Kim. Hello, Kim. What are you seeing here is essentially just a speed up by both consoles using a really high speed. Well, yes, that's what the SSDs do. I'm ready for my PS5 on Thursday. Nice, Anthony. I'm excited, man. It's good to see some folks. Who here in the chat is getting any of these next-gen consoles this week? I know there's Nato. I know there's me. And now there's Kim. Who here is getting a next-gen console this week? If you aren't, totally cool. I still strongly think the PlayStation 5 has hands down the stronger launch lineup and even potentially the first year lineup. 100%. I said that in the video. So you guys enjoy that because that's going to be nice to have some hype games to play right away. It's like Nato said, you know, if you are just there for the games, or specifically games you care about, because there's still a shit ton of games on Xbox. But if you're there for the PlayStation exclusives, then you are going to be blessed at like launch in the first year, man. And if you have the money to pay for them all. Care about load time. Okay, Sam Fellows. I don't majorly care about load times, but it's a good representation of the power of the console. Like if a game loaded in 1 second compared to 10 seconds, I don't care, but it shows an insane difference in power. That's me, Sam. Like Nato posted this joke earlier. My thing loads faster, get wrecked. That's a mentality to put it, but to me, it's just interesting. Like that's why I personally wanted the Series X. Like I get it. If you want a system to play Final Fantasy 16 a year early, that's your value. I get it. One of my values is I just want to play any game that I like. The game that I want to play, I want to play it on the best, like the strongest thing that's going to be running at the smoothest. And then that's why I'm into the tech stuff, is because I want to, like, that's my value, but that's just me. You know, that's not for everybody. That's why I stated in that video, these are my 5 reasons I would get a Series X. And these are my 5 reasons I would get a PS5. Is that what is going to be most valuable to you? Probably not, but it's just my reasons. Let's see, Nikita, I believe you will get a lot of people who like your content. And it's good, man. I grew a lot through that, and it's been nice to see, even though there's a lot of disgusting comments in those videos, it's been really great to see things grow. Let's see here. I did miss a lot. Let me kind of skip ahead a bit. Yeah, like Kim mentioned here. Kim says the best example of the improved loading on PS5 is Miles Morales. Yeah, I saw Miles Morales. It's insane what that game is doing. It's just instant. You just click the game, like 4 seconds to the main menu, and you spend like 2 in the main menu to load your game up, and then it's like another 2 or 3 to load the game up. That shit's insane, but that's an example. Like the newer games are probably going to just load best on PS5, or specifically the exclusive ones, because they know the developers didn't have to work with anything else but that SSD. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so earlier I asked the question, and I'm seeing everybody say, wait, said boy, what do you think about the size of the PS5? It's funny because if you put volume, Series X and PS5 are the same size. It's just that the PS5 is skinnier and way taller. That's basically it. But I do like that it looks so much better horizontally, to who asked that question. But anyways, I see Liam secured a Series X. Nice. FFG is going to wait for a year. Totally understand. Yeah, for both these systems. Like, if you just want to do that, totally get that. Especially since a lot of the games are going to be cross-gen, so that's cool. Nikita said, I will get it probably next year, unless there's one up for grab in December. That's the other case. It's like, I want one, but they're never in stock. You're going to be dealing with that for like the first couple months for sure. And I've known Nato is. Katie, if I happen to go to a store that has one, I will, but I'm not going to go out of my way just yet. Totally hear that. Yeah. It's funny because my buddy Dom is like, I don't feel like going out of my way to get one of these systems. Similar mentality to Katie. But he also doesn't want to go out of his way to get a TV this month in November that will be like better than his TV because it's out of his way. And I'm just like, dude, there's nothing different. It's literally the same exact process that you would do to get it next month or the month after. It's just cheaper this month. So FYI, if you are not getting a next-gen console this month, totally cool, but I highly recommend you get a TV this month and just be ready, because whichever you get, you want a good TV that'll actually utilize it. If you just get some standard 4K TV or whatever, like, oh, I got this 55-inch 4K TV for $200. If you do, that's great. I'm going to probably tell you, though, unless you spend over $500 on a 55-inch, it's probably not going to be $600 probably. It's not going to be the best TV. But this is the month to get a good TV. That's all I'm saying. If you're not going to get the system, then you might want to consider getting the TV that'll actually be able to fully show that system. But then again, that could just be my tech talk talking. You probably don't care if you play it on 1080p TV. You probably don't care if you play it on a subpar 4K TV. That could just be, it don't matter to you maybe, and that's fine. But just for those that do want to fully utilize it, this might be a good time to consider getting the TV. Let's see. Liam also is saying, absolutely PS5 is a better lineup, but I was more concerned with the third party and where my friends play. Yeah, the third party stuff, I am firmly in belief that it's going to play best in Series X. However, he brings up a point that I 100% agree with. Some people want to go where the best bang for your buck is. That's me. Some people want to go where their exclusives are. That's where like Nato and other folks are. Some want to go where their friends are because they're really into multiplayer. And that's totally a thing. I 100% understand that. That's actually a big reason I didn't mention my video. But like, I just didn't bring that up because that's not specific to Series X. I wanted to bring up things that are specific to each system. So yeah, that's a totally valuable reason. Pierre the Gamer says PS5 on Thursday for me from Amazon. Best of luck, man. My buddy, he ordered his Series X from Amazon, and I guess it's going to show up a day late. I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it works with the PS5 as well. So best of luck to you, man. But I mean, what's a day or two late? As long as it's not a freaking like 2 weeks or something. Fair is getting the PS5 on November 19th. I'm assuming that means you're across the waters. FGG. I'm sure Xbox is going to drop a AAA bomb real soon. Let's hope. Let's hope. Senai just finished sending the Series X up. Yeah, by the way, if anybody has one, share your thoughts. Like it's still just the morning or midday, but still love to see your thoughts. I need to get to sharing this other thing that I'm a little bit shocked about, but I need to pull up the source on it. So let me just see these chat messages because I'm finally catching up. Let's see. Sister girl hashtag sexy bitch. I don't know where I'm going to put the Series X. I really don't, man, because both these consoles, they're so tall and they look the best when they're vertical, but damn it, the Series X looks terrible horizontally. It looks like a freaking Firelog. At least that's just me. You know, that's one of the most subjective things about these is the design. But man, I don't want to put that thing sideways. It looks terrible sideways. But I'm going to have to because I don't think I have like a media stand that'll fit it. All right. Not how I just helped my cousin get a Series X. See, I'm not an Xbox hater. No, you're not an Xbox hater. I just do admit there are times, Nato, I wish you would get kind of hyped about some things that Xbox is doing. Like, I got hyped when I saw the PS collection, when I saw that they are going to have 99% backwards compatible stuff. Like I just wish, I just love seeing like a PlayStation preference get excited about things that Xbox is doing, and an Xbox preference gets excited about things that PlayStation is doing. Because that's what you can do, and that's just you being excited about gaming overall, and I love that shit, man. It just makes so many more things so much more hype. Let's see. Katie has been looking at TVs. Nice. Let's see. FGGG. I only had a 55-inch 4K TV. I guess it will work fine. Yeah, but 60 hertz. Yeah, 60 hertz is fine. That's like the minimum. That's good. Nato, by the way, where's your Series X, Keeps? Are still waiting on it, Keeps? Yes, I actually should check that right now. I'm not going to display this. It's being delivered, and I for some reason sent it to be delivered to somebody else's house because I was a little bit worried I wasn't going to be here because I was out of town this whole time. And so I'm going to have to drive over and pick that up instead of it just arriving on my doorstep. So let's see. I'm going to look at this tracking number. It's supposed to be delivered today, but yeah, it's not here yet. It says it's out for delivery right now because it was in Seattle this morning. I saw that. And now it's out for delivery in my region. Okay, so right after this stream, I think I am going to drive to my place, like the place I said it delivered to, and I'm just gonna like wait for it with my hand. I'm gonna be in the driveway like this. I'm just gonna be like, okay. So I think that's gonna be with me like by noon. So, anyways, just like right like that at the driveway. Okay, that's good. Anyways, so let me see here. Let me just skim this really quick. Series X looks more like a toolkit horizontal. It looks so dumb horizontally, man. I'm putting my Series X vertical on my desk. Once I get it, I will not be able to stand it being horizontal. Like I don't know if I can show this here. Hang on. So like, my media stand is over there, right? And it's about as tall as like a 1S stood up, right? So like, let's see what I mean, that's not bad, you know? That's not bad. But there's like 3 inches of air, and it makes me paranoid. Is that enough? 3 inches of air? That makes me really paranoid. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know, man. Makes me paranoid. Anyways. Okay. But Keeves, I'm just not that excited by it. I think some things are cool though, just not for me. Yeah, it's all good, man. That's the thing, like my buddy Dom, like he doesn't get excited about like I was so excited for him and for a lot of people when Soul Calibur 6 was announced, because I know my buddy Dom, he's like so into it. I don't give a shit about Soul Calibur. I don't play it, but I just get so hyped when I see like a sequel for something announced. But that's just because that's just how I work. I get hyped like for people in general, and like it genuinely gets me almost as excited as like things that I personally am hyped for. But anyways, Nikita, are you gonna do an unboxing video? I don't think so. So here's the plan, guys. When I get it, I'm probably gonna spend a solid hour at least trying to set up my new setup in my living room. Because I have my new TV as well. It's going to be a glorious day. And I think I'm going to try to get a friend over. Because otherwise I could just kind of like have a 2 tripod setup. But I just mostly want to get a reaction of me going from, like literally the video and thumbnail are going to be centered around going from 1080p to 4K kind of a thing. Like going from 1080p 30 frame to 4K 60 frame. Like, but it's something more like it's got to be more basic than that. Let me know if you have any ideas. But I basically want it to be like a reaction video, because that's a huge leap. I've been talking with all these other YouTubers that I'm like, talking with, and they're all like, dude, you are in for a treat, because you are skipping a 4K TV and you're skipping a 1X and you're going from a 1S 1080p TV to a Series X, the best gaming TV you could have. So it's going to be quite the leap, and I really want to just get my reaction to that. So I'm going to try Gears 5, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, because both those games are supposed to be able to do 4K 120. I think literally those are like some of the only few. But yeah, anyways. The other thing I wanted to kind of bring up here, and I am not meaning for this to be like a PS5 bash session or something, but there's just something that like Kind of Funny. I was listening to Kind of Funny this morning, and they were talking about this last week, and I'm like, why? And they're saying that too, like not like dissing it, but they're just like, it's not a big deal to me, but it's just like, why would they do that kind of a thing? But let me pull up the source here. PS5. Damn it. What do I say for the source here? Games can't be stored. Let's see here. Okay, so I think this is a source here. So this is an article stating PlayStation 5 games can't be stored on external hard drives, according to reports. The PS5 will support USB external storage from day one, which is true. Then that's what they've been saying. But I could have swore it. Anyways, enabling users to play PS4 titles not stored on the next-gen console. But PS5 games can't be moved to the external hard drive in order to free up storage space, GameSpot reports. This is in contrast to the Xbox Series X and S, which enables players to use an external drive to house, as in store, next-gen games for transfer to play on the console. So you could, like, basically, if you're not, you can't play the game next-gen games off of the external HDD, but you could store them there if you want to, like, transfer them back and forth. Whereas PlayStation 5 is apparently, you can only store and play games on the internal SSD, which there is no expandable SSD currently available on the market right now for it. PS5 reserves approximately 20% of its 825 gigabyte internal SSD storage for operating functions, leaving around 664 gigabytes usable for software. This is insane to me. Like, this actually does kind of legitimately anger me a little bit, because I don't want to bash on PlayStation. I think it's freaking awesome. Like, I was on the fence. I really was. And this kind of a move makes me personally proud that I didn't go with it, because these games are going to fill up that hard drive instantly. They already confirmed the next COD game, which frick COD, by the way. I'm actually mad at COD too for making their games as big as they are. Maybe they can't help it, but it's like, look at other games. But anyways, that's another rant. But that thing's going to fill up a 6 of this drive. And you have to you have to delete it. You can't just transfer it to your external 5 terabyte hard drive. You have to delete it and re-download it and use up your data plan, because every internet provider, a lot of the times they have a data cap. And if you're downloading and re-downloading and deleting and shit, these 60 to 120 gigabyte games, you're going to use up your data plan really quick. And that's bad. But you don't use up your data plan when you bounce it back and forth between your hard drive and your SSD. This is legitimately bad. I don't mean to trigger you if you're a PlayStation fan. I love PlayStation. But this is legitimately bad. I don't see how this is good. I really don't. It's really weird. And I don't know. And it's made all the worse when the save situation. Saves can't be on external. I think this is it. PS5 can be installed or played on external. No, that's not what I'm looking for. You can't back up. Okay. I mean, this, I want to find somebody more official, but it's essentially the same thing. I need to find the actual source here, but there was apparently also, they're saying that you can't back up your saves either. So if you're playing Spider-Man Miles Morales, you can't back up your saves on an external HDD either. You have to either be a PS Plus member, which most everybody is, so it's not this one's not as big of a deal, because if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you don't have to worry about it. But if for some reason somebody doesn't want to be a PS Plus member and not pay for that membership, you can't back up your saves on your external device. Sony's PS5 does not have the option of moving your save data for the console to an external device such as a USB drive. Instead, your only current option is to use the cloud storage via PlayStation Plus, meaning you have to pay for the privilege. That's not right. That's not right. This is obviously different from how things worked on PS4, which that's the thing. PlayStation 4, they allowed that. So why would it not be a thing here? If you're going to allow that on PlayStation 4, why would you not allow that on PlayStation 5? That's just so weird to me. This is obviously different to how things worked on PS4, which allows users to back up their save files on external devices in addition to PS Plus cloud storage. If you want to transfer your PS5 save data to another system or just back it up for safety in case you have a flood or anything like that, then subscribing to PS Plus is currently your only option. If you head to the PS5 system settings and go to Save Data and Game and App Settings, you'll see Save Data PS4. Here you can select the option for copying PS4 save files to a USB drive or cloud storage, or delete them outright. For PS5, however, the only option available is cloud storage, with the USB drive setting nowhere to be found. That is bonkers. That's not as bonkers as, like, that's, if you have PS Plus, then it's whatever. You know, that's not as big of a deal as this. This is way more big of a deal to me. That you can't store your PS5 games on an external hard drive. That is baloney. I'm sorry, that might trigger you, but that is absolute baloney. I will not defend that. That is not okay. And I don't get it. I really don't. I really don't understand it. What do you think about that? Like, again, I'm not trying to bash PlayStation. It's just, as a gamer, like, if I decided to go with this console and I find out this console can't do that, but the other guy can, then why what? That bugs me. That really does bug me. That's just me, though. I don't know. Oops, that's the wrong one. That's just freaking me. I don't understand that. I just don't. Anyways, God's Geeks. Dude, why aren't you playing God's Geeks? I just now saw he's here. What's up, dude? I'm not playing it because I have it being delivered. It's not with me yet. So and plus I want this to be an opportunity to celebrate with my community. I love my community, man. So I want to hang out with my community and I want to give them a raw reaction. I still need to set up my TV and everything. I'm going to do that after this stream. Probably grab the box too. You enjoy though, man. You enjoy. But I will be playing it later today. Anyways. Katie, that is bummers for real. I can imagine FF16 taking up a good chunk of the space, seeing as both FF15 and 7 Remake were about 100 gigabytes each. Exactly. And if you are going to download Final Fantasy 16, and it's potentially, let's just say, 80 gigabytes, that's a lot of your hard drive. And you can't, and when you remove it, you're going to have to re-download it and use data off of your plan. That's just bonkers to me, man. I don't understand that. I just don't understand that. Nikita, that's a problem because I had trouble with my PS4 storage. I don't know. Like, the PS4 storage seems like it was fine, you know? Like, you could back things up on your external. Why not just allow that again? I don't know. Can't believe PS5 is messing up with the external hard drive support like that. I just don't get it, man. I'll admit it's not great. Hopefully it's fixed after launch. Like, hopefully. This, to me, kind of shows the cocky side of PlayStation. I don't see how they could see this as acceptable unless they just feel cocky. I don't understand that. Maybe it's the way they built it and they just don't see how, I don't know. I can't, kind of funny said in the best way. Kind of funny. I was listening to Blessing is a massive PlayStation fan too. And he's like, this is one of those things, I forgot how he put it, but he's like, this is one of those things that as much as I wrap my head around it, I just can't figure out why they would do this. Like, usually a lot of bad news, I can think of why they would say that or why they would do that. But this is one of those things I just can't figure out. That's exactly how I feel. Like, I can't think of anything. But anyways, Katie, what I think they might be doing is coming out with their special made hard drive that we have to buy. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, they already said they'll support third-party hard drives, but I don't know, man. Let's see. Does anyone know when Xbox Series X will be back in stock in the UK? They ran out 2 minutes. Joe, I would check out the Microsoft website. I did see that they had more in stock this morning. I would also follow Cheap Ass Gamer on Twitter. I think you have the S's as $signs. I would definitely follow that man on Twitter because he is constantly on top of letting you know like when something's back in stock. But I would check Microsoft for now. And also Walmart. I think Walmart has some in stock too. But then again, it's UK. I'm not sure how UK might work because I don't think you guys got Walmarts. Hatem, I believe Xbox will come out with some really good games later on with their studios. 100%, man. 2022. Oh, 2022 is going to be orgasmic. Oh my God. 2022 is going to be so goddamn amazing. Let's see. Barnock, my main priority is games, and PlayStation brings the heavy hitters when it comes to exclusives. I got a PC, so I'm set up as far as anything Xbox puts out. True. That's 100%. Like, I'm not going to be some bullshit fanboy that's just like, no, if you play a PC, like, no, just however you want to play their games, play their games. That's all they care about. Like, obviously they want to sell their box, but it's like, if you already got a beefy system, great. Now, to those that don't have a beefy system, if you want to build a system that's as powerful as a Series X, you're going to have to fork over at least $1,000. So, but if you already got a decent one and you don't care too much about like certain resolutions and stuff, then yeah, you're set, man. Like, have a ball. Intel Billy Bid, did they send you an early PlayStation, or are you like the rest of us wait? Oh, no, I'm not big enough yet to get my own copy of something. I wish I would. Whew, I'll cry that day it happens, but no, I definitely don't get an early one. And I, to be honest, will probably never get one unless like my entire life becomes video games, because I just don't want more options. I already am overwhelmed with the amount of things that's on Game Pass. It's mind blowing. I can't deal with that as well as my Switch as my secondary. There's too damn much, man. There's just too damn much. I did just see like the newest message here. Perp Minded, Kibiji, salute, sir. Been a sub since Kingdom Hearts 3. Well, welcome back, man. Speaking of Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories is tomorrow. I ain't getting it. Anybody else here getting it? Not because I think it looks bad or nothing. I just personally, like I said in my Xbox video, I'm a very budget gamer. Game Pass kind of spoiled me, and I very rarely buy a game at $60 now because of Game Pass. And as much as Kingdom Hearts is one of my two favorite franchises, I think I just want to record a reaction video for you guys of me watching all the cutscenes. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it yet. But thank you very much, Perp. It's good to see you, man. Barnock earlier said my main issue with PlayStation is the hypocrisy when it comes to censorship. That is weird. Somebody reminded me of that, Barnock, and I don't know. Hatem, Spider-Man and the controller are what I feel I'm really missing out on. I want to say something. I've been watching tons of different opinions and videos and shit about these next-gen systems, and I completely agree when I've heard a couple people say the PlayStation 5 controller is the most next-gen thing about all these consoles. Like, the most noticeable one. The most noticeable one. The load times is hands down the runner-up. The load times is going to be hands down the runner-up for the most noticeable thing about these systems. because you'll have folks like me that like do a lot of video and have an eye to like recognize if something's a higher resolution, frame rate and shit. But that's a lot more harder to see for just the general gamer. But that controller, yeah, you feel that. You feel that. So I would say that is something that I'm 100% I'm going to miss on PlayStation 5. Okay. Soonest, do you know when the express shipping for Microsoft will come? I have no idea. Soonest. I'm sorry, man. I don't ever order anything through Microsoft, so yeah. Reels, when is the restock coming? Again, I would follow Cheap Ass Gamer on Twitter. I heard Walmart has more today, and the Microsoft Store has more today. I think everything, actually. Best Buy might too, so. Lily, does the Xbox Live Gold work with the new Series S? Yes. To be clear, when you get the Series S or Series X, there is no difference. Like, the OS, your memberships, the games, everything, it's going to be like you just have a way more powerful whatever your previous Xbox was. So, yeah. Gold's Game Pass, yeah, you're good. You're good. Andrew Prosser, what would be the one game you'd recommend from Game Pass? Ugh, that's an impossible question. It just depends on what you're into. Like, I admit the thing about Xbox is that they have a lot of niche games. Like, they don't tend to have very many games that are just like universal, you know? They have a lot of like niche games. So it's kind of hard for me to just tell you this thing is just a masterpiece that everybody will enjoy. I mean, that being said, if you're into shooters, you can't go wrong with the Master Chief Collection. Hands down, the Master Chief Collection is freaking bomb. And that's for sure on Game Pass. But other than that... Okay, shooter, Master Chief Collection, hands down. Indie game, I don't know if Outer Wilds is still on there, but I would say Outer Wilds. If it is not, then probably Ori or Hollow Knight. And just like important game, like really important one. And honestly, if you just want to see a visually stunning game too, Hellblade. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I will always tell people that is such an important game to play. So I will say those would be my picks personally. But anyways, okay. Tyler Hoff, hello. Definitely excited to play Spider-Man when I hopefully get a PS5 launch. That's what I mean, man. Spider-Man is such a great way to kick that system off with. That's so good. And I'm sure it's going to feel so... There's so many people that are saying, like, the Series X, the main thing about it right now is that there isn't some big game to, like, go with it at launch. And I totally, like, I agree. So anyways, we're going to be missing Halo Infinite a lot this year. But Gears 5 is going to look phenomenal on that system. It is. Mahesh, since I have a PC, does getting the Series X make sense since the Game Pass is also on PC? It just depends. It depends. Mahesh, if you have a good enough PC, if you have something that's pretty beefy and you don't mind like 1080p 60, or you can do 1440 60 or higher, if you're happy with the resolution frame rate on that thing, then yeah, you're good. If you have like a super nice monitor or super nice TV and you want to like really have like the faster load times and the better resolution frame rates and shit, that like it would cost you a lot to build a PC that can do the shit that the Series X is doing, then you would probably want a Series X. But if you have a good enough PC, yeah, you're good. If you're happy with like the quality of your games right now, you're good. Let's see. See, Nana brings up a good point. He says, I think because it's going to be diminishing returns with resolution frame rates, you have to implement something more immersive. I think the DualSense is Sony's answer to that. If they keep up with it, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will keep up with it. But it's a Jonathan, but the main PlayStation guy at IGN, he brought up a statement that was like, I hope this is something that isn't like a fad that fades away, you know, like that developers continue to expand upon it instead of just it being like a launch year thing. And I'm pretty sure they will. But yeah, I would agree. Natto is, yeah. Jesus Christ. I love that name. I mean, Game Pass just added it EA Play in loving Star Wars game. What? Yeah. EA Play, that's as of today, that's a part of Game Pass. That shit's insane. Like, people bring up all... By the way, it says we have over 50 viewers right now. Thank you so much, everybody watching. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that. That is... it says 60 now. Holy shit. That is a lot of people. I have not had that many people at a live stream in a very long time. So, I see Asa is here as well. It is. Hey, what's up, dude? We're having a... By the way, plug into Game On Daily. I think this Sunday, we are going to have a face-off between me and... Is Gaz the owner of Game On Daily or creator? I forget what his position is, but me and Gaz from Game On Daily, I think, are gonna have like a one-on-one face-off in Smash Bros. And if I win, I get a free copy of Super Mario 3D All Stars. So root for me. If I lose, I have to smash a freaking egg on my face. So, but yeah, thank you all for coming by. It's good to talk with you. Anyways, I fell really far behind the chat. Let's see. Perp Minded said, oh wait. Demian, how about the PS5 DE? What is that? Will that be available? I don't know what DE is. Perp Minded, I just downloaded Doom Eternal. Can somebody answer me this question? Doom Eternal stated that it's going to get a free, you know, upgrade for both PS5 and Xboxes for its like next gen things. By the way, I see Natto's leaving. Later, Natto. Appreciate you coming by, man. And I hope you have a nice Thursday, man. But is that like at launch? Is that like available today? The Doom Eternal like free upgrade? Because if it is, I want to play that shit today. I want to play that shit today. But I don't know. I keep looking it up and it doesn't say. So it doesn't say anything about like a date or what the upgrade's going to do. Is it going to boost the frame rate? Is it going to boost the resolution? Is it going to have rate? Like, what is the upgrade? Like, I don't know. If anybody can like tweet me a source to that, I would greatly appreciate it. Because I really, if that's available today, I want to play that shit. But by the way, hi Jay Baker. Asa. Okay, Asa from Game On Daily. Hellblade can be difficult, can be a difficult play for multiple reasons, for sure. But defo recommend finishing it and then watching the documentary that went into it. I did that, man. That game is so damn, that game is one of the most important games of the generation. I'm calling that shit. That game is so damn important. And if you play, listen to me right now, everybody. If you play Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, you have to play it with headphones. Do not play that game not wearing headphones. That is a game that, like, part of the experience is hearing these sounds through your ears, because that is what the character is going through, and the storytelling in that game is told through Senua, the character, and you will get so much more out of it by listening to what she hears. And you will do that by wearing the headphones. So wear the headphones when you play Hellblade. Monkey Boy, which console do you think you are going to purchase out of the two? I actually did videos about that, Monkey Boy. I'm getting a Series X for, you could watch a whole video about why that is. So to insanely sum it up, it's just the most bang for your buck option, in my opinion. Whereas the PS5, if I wanted like the hype launch, then I would, but I don't want to purchase each of the games coming out. Why do we have over 100 viewers? Holy shit, guys. Thank you so much for coming by. That is probably the most I have ever had. Did somebody retweet this out? Did Gaz or Asa, did you guys tweet this out? Thank you all so much for being here. Let's see. Perp Minded, I waited 13 years for Kingdom Hearts 3. I can wait a year for Halo Infinite. I can wait, man. It's just sad to see all these like Taco Bell commercials, snack partnerships, monsters, and then like the Master Chief Collection continuously getting updated. Like, this was supposed to be the year for Halo, and Halo Infinite was going to be like the granddaddy finale to this buildup, and it just hurts, man. It just hurts to see like this plan still going forward, even though it's not having the grand finale they wanted it to be. So I'm really curious what their new marketing plan is. Smearguard, I'm not sure if the PS5 digital will be available at GameStop, man. I'd call them right now and check. Asa, I'm stuck on who to cheer for. I want you to get the game, but I also want you to get the egg. And I want Gaz to lose a freaking course. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm excited for it, though. Hey, there's Mighty Spork. No Eternal update yet. Okay. See, I didn't think so, but it's like, can we just know when that's gonna happen? Because I really want to do that shit. Have you picked up your Series X, Chives? By the way, hi, Chives. I'm all caught up with HiQ, as of yesterday. No, I have it being mailed to me, Chives. So it's I should actually check that right now. I accidentally, like, I don't know why I did this, but I have it being mailed to somebody else's house, so I have to go pick it up. Do that probably right after the stream. But anyways, it says it's out for delivery still, so okay. Asa, no Doom upgrade today, but it was already dynamic resolution, so it gets a decent upgrade in that sense. But it was already dynamic resolution, so it gets a decent upgrade in that sense. What? So now it's just a native solid resolution? That's what I mean. Like, they didn't list out the benefits. They didn't list out the benefits. Like, is it the frame rate? Is it the resolution? What are they doing? Barnock has some notes about Hellblade being potentially just artsy and critically, like, kind of a thing. I'm just telling you, man. I will say, you don't play it for the gameplay. You play it for the story. You play it for the story. And it has good enough gameplay, in my opinion. I think the puzzle solving gets a little bit too long and crazy sometimes, just because I'm not so much of a puzzle guy. But it just, the story, the performance, it's the best performance I have ever seen. Like, like, the only ones I could think that compare, I think it's just Joel from The Last of Us. Joel from Last of Us Part 1. I think that is the only gaming performance I have ever seen that compares to the girl that played Senua. I'm just telling you, man. But anyways, hello, Ravi from India. Hello. Okay, guys, I need the Series S for 2K. Lightning Staff, Will, Halo, what? Retro Gamer, and a GameStop employee told me that the Series X can play every OG Xbox 360 game via disc. Is that true? That is not true. Retro Gamer, that is not true. The Xbox Series X cannot play every original Xbox and 360 games via disc. That is not true. It can play every single backwards compatible game that the Xbox One could play. And you could go to the Xbox website and see that list, which is, I think, about like 500 360 games, like a bit over 500 360 games and a bit over 24 original Xbox games. So at least it can do that, you know, but no, it cannot just play any. I wish so badly. Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2, anybody? Oh my God, please tell me somebody's in the chat. Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2, anybody? But anyways, that is the only reason I have my 360 still. That is the only reason I still have my 360. Jay and Hazel, when do you think Xbox is going to be in stock? I'd say today. I would really highly encourage you, like, taking some effort if you want to, at least. But anyways, Hens, so what's the date PS5 is supposed to be out again? 12th, this Thursday, November 12th. By the way, if you're just joining, we have so many new people here now, but earlier we were discussing how the PS5 SSD is twice as fast as both of the Xboxes are, but for some reason the Xbox is loading games as fast, if not faster, than the PS5 is. And also the other thing that we discussed earlier was, for some reason, Sony is not building the PS5 to allow you to store PlayStation 5 games on an external hard drive. I find the SSD thing is more shocking to me. Like, holy shit, That's the velocity architecture, I guess, at work. That's why Xbox can do quicker zoom, but I still find that baffling because it's half as fast. But the storage thing, that's just weird. The storage thing, you are not able to store PS5 games on an external hard drive, whereas on Xbox you can do that. You can't play them, but you could store them on an external. And I find that just kind of bad, to be honest. But those are the two things we talked about earlier. What do you think about both those? Yeah. Thing is, that's all we talked about earlier if you're just joining us. I'm not sure if I have another piece of news to hit. Yeah. Let's see. It's like playing a movie. Mamba does poop. What is that name? Will the Xbox Series X be faster at load times than PS5? Seeing load time comparison. Yeah, like that's what I was just talking about. Mamba does. I don't know why, but for some reason, just look up GameSpot load times, and you'll see. I think it's like the first video. It's comparing the two systems, and I don't know why. It's mind blowing to me. What time does PS5 drop? Just November 12th. I'm assuming whenever your store's open. Retro Gamer, you're welcome, man. I don't know why GameSpot told you that, or GameStop told you that. That is not true information. So that's kind of unfortunate because as an employee there, you should kind of brush up and know what these systems can do. So it's kind of unfortunate. I still have a PS3 and an Xbox 360. I still play on them. I still have my PS3 and 360 too, but I don't really play on them, so I don't know. Because they said the Xbox has reached any of their stores. Damn. Quest mode. What's up, dude? It's next gen day, baby. You already got your bucks, huh, Josh? Oh, Josh, thanks for coming by, man. I'll be wrapping up soon here. Hey, you want to hop on and tell everybody your first impressions of your refrigerator? Plug into Quest mode, by the way, guys. Quest mode is in the chat apparently, or he was earlier. Awesome channel. Please check him out. We're probably gonna have our nominees for the Game Awards next week. Yeah, next week. I think so. Anyways, I think people are forgetting the most last gen games haven't been optimized to run on PS5. They still run faster on PS5 than on PS4 Pro. I'm sure they'll run as fast as Xbox with a patch. True. Like maybe. I don't know though. That's a ton of games to fix. For some reason though, Witcher 3 loaded a good deal faster than the Series X did. But every other game they tested didn't. So I don't know, man. Retro Gamer, why can't the Xbox Series X play every OG Xbox and 360 game via disc? It's because it's not about the disc. It's about the compatibility with the system. It's I guess it's not as simple as just running an old file. Like you actually have to. There's a lot more technical stuff that goes into it, Retro Gamer. I wish it was as simple as just put in a disc and you're good. Heck, that's how it would work with PlayStation. Frickin', why can't the PlayStation 5 play every disc from the up to the PlayStation 1? But no, there's a lot more complications that go into that. Let's see. Rich Light earlier asked, so what's better, Xbox or PS5? Neither, man. Neither are better. It just depends on what your values are. Like, you can't go wrong with either of them. But especially after this, like, whole no storing on an external drive thing, that's a deal breaker to me. Like, that's just to me, though. That's a massive deal breaker. Like, you can have great exclusives, but that actually legitimately makes me angry. I'm 100% Xbox at this point, just because of the Bethesda, the EA Play, the over 23 studios now basically, being able to play on both PC or through xCloud on my phone, the bang for your buck that you get with Game Pass, and apparently it's loading games and running games a little bit better. I mean, for now, with backwards compatible stuff, it's got great backwards compatibility. Like, I have a long list of reasons now why I personally prefer the Series X, but if you love PlayStation's games, you got to get that system, man. That's why you go with it. So, if you want a really hype first year and you got the money, 100% go PlayStation. Just figure out that storage situation, because that storage situation is really bullshit. I do not know why. By the way, Quest mode, I don't know if okay, I saw him here earlier. If you heard about that, Josh, you should look into that. basically, apparently you cannot store PS5 games on an external hard drive, which is so weird because like everybody was under the assumption that you could. And now I'm wanting to look back. Did PlayStation say that? Did they say that you could store PS5 games on an external? Because I could have swore they did. And if they did, does that mean it's not true? It's a weird sitch, man. That's so weird to me. But anyways, load times, I'm guessing the next one. Any particular Mahesh? Oh, Josh hasn't gotten his Xbox yet. Okay. I thought you did because I saw like your twit. Oh my God. Your Twitter, and I thought you said like it's weird booting up an Xbox to see EA play, but that could have been your one. Mahesh, any particular upcoming exclusives from Microsoft to be excited for? Halo Infinite. I mean, it just depends what you mean by upcoming. If you mean within like the next couple months, to be honest, I don't know what to tell you. To be honest, Gears Tactics that came out today. Medium, I think Medium is promising, but nothing like super OMG status like Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite's the one, but like, in the future, I got a ton for you. Freaking Fable, Avowed, Exomecha. I'm particularly not excited for Frozen Motorsport, but that game will probably look gorgeous, so it's worth mentioning. Hellblade 2. A lot of games I'm forgetting. I think the Gunk looks promising. Stalker 2. I'm forgetting all the list of them, but there's a lot of things in the future, you know. And Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield from Bethesda, you will get day one for free on Game Pass. But in terms of like the immediate like coming months, all I can tell you is Halo Infinite. That's all I can tell you. Speaking of Game Awards, I fell really far behind. Vermin O'Hara, look who's here. All right. Hawa. Let's see. Hang on, I might have to ban somebody. Yeah. I think we got somebody here that's kind of doing something weird. Quest mode, I saw. Super lame. I'm pretty sure they said that too. That's what I mean, Josh. Like, I could have swore they said it. They said you could store games. So I don't know why. I really don't know why. I do not know why, man. It's freaking weird. When will Xbox Series be at Best Buy? I don't know, man. Best Buy is the weirdest. Like, I wanted to order from Best Buy, but for some reason they're weird. Okay, so Quest mode, that was on my 1X. Gotcha. Quest mode, so this is a good question to the entire chat. So as you, whatever system you're getting, I want to propose, what are you looking forward to most in terms of a feature? Like, I know it's all about the games, and I 100% think PlayStation has like the most hype for its launch lineup. I totally think that's the case in my opinion. But in terms of the features, what feature to either console are you most excited about? To be honest, I'm not sure which one that would be for me. I still think the most next gen like feature is the PS5 controller. I definitely think that. Like, if I was to try to be objective, even though it's objective, I hate that word. I just love quick resume, man. I think quick resume is it for me. And I'm so glad that you don't need to do it off the SSD to do that. It's just, that's through the actual system itself. That's bonkers. What times? Let's see. Meet Patel. I see you repeating this question, I think. Do you think we will get the Xbox before December 23rd? Yeah. I don't see why you wouldn't. When will we get news of the initiative? Geodude, when will we get news of what the initiative is working on? Do you have any guesses? I don't, man. That studio, they formed in like 2018, and they've been working on whatever they've been working on since then. So, I don't know, man. I feel like we won't know until later this year because Uncle Phil Spencer, did state that he doesn't want to announce games until he knows they are like solidly like in the works and they do have a plan for it and everything. And so I think that I don't think they want to announce whatever the initiative is doing until it's like within the next year or two, potentially. So we'll see, man. I don't know. Let's see. By the way, I see Chives. He's kind of talking about something we have in our Discord, which, by the way, if you want to have more game talk and just fun times and shit and support the channel, then consider becoming a patron. You can request your own podcast if you want me to talk about something in full. We have anime, movie, and game chats in our Discord. And if you go a certain tier, you could request an actual reaction from me. Lots of cool stuff there, and you are supporting the content. Greatly appreciate it if you do. But Chives is continuing a conversation we were having on there, and he says, yeah, I didn't get to follow up on your comment about the TCL 6 series, R635. He's talking about TV. Best TV for a budget, by the way. If you want a TV for under $1,000 that will not be able to do what a 4K 2.1 TV can do, but it's like the best like under $1,000 option you have that can still do 4K 60 and 1440p 120, then the TCL 6 series R635 is what you want. But anyways, he's saying, I was debating the TCL Sony X900H, which is also decent option, and the LG NanoCell 90, also decent option. Sony was too expensive for my budget, and I heard LG Nano HDR isn't great. You are both correct there. So the Sony, it was like $900. It was like this. It was like just a little bit more expensive than the TCL was, but then they had this firmware update that allows it to have 2.1, and when they put in that update, they bumped up the price by like $300 or $400. So that put it out of the league. And another thing to know about that TV, guys, if you do get the Sony X900H, it's not a bad TV. Its color accuracy is bomb. However, when you go to that 4K 120 hertz mode, apparently they add a little bit of blur to it for some reason to make it work. It's weird. It's really weird. It's apparently like you might not notice it, but it does affect the resolution a little bit. And it's just weird that they added that. And the LG NanoCell 90, yeah, it's just a dim TV. That's the problem with that one. And it doesn't have the best contrast. It's really dim. It's a good option if you just want to have a good, hertz TV, but it's really dim. So you went with a good option with the TCL, in my opinion. Ravi, Xbox announcing a new IP at the Game Awards, thoughts? Yeah, I definitely think the Game Awards will see some, I don't know about a new IP, but just something from Xbox. I don't think a new IP. I think Xbox wants to, well, they could. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, you didn't go wrong with the TCL, Chives. Okay, so here's what people are answering my question earlier. Potentially, I just see Jimmy here. Jimmy says ray tracing. Yeah, that's probably my runner-up. Ray tracing's great. Ray tracing's really solid. This is actually another question I want to pose to the chat. So this is actually what I'm really curious about. And I asked this in this was kind of like discussed in these two shows I was in last week. Would you prefer? Okay, if you're watching right now, answer this. Would you prefer a game to run? Well, first, let me ask you this, because I kind of have a different question. Would you rather a game run with 4K 30 frames with ray tracing or 4K 120 is asking a lot. Like, I think Ori and the Will of the Wisps is the only game that can do that. But basically, would you rather have less frame rates for ray tracing or more frame rates without ray tracing? Let me know that. So basically, ray tracing or frame rates, which one's more important? Because you're not going to be able to have both. But if like a game had that toggle that you could like customize it, which I think Spider-Man has, by the way, I think it's freaking rad. Spider-Man Miles Morales has that exact option where it's like running at 4K 30 frames per second, and it has like a decent amount of ray tracing on. Looks gorgeous. And then it has like a performance mode where it's like 4K 60, super solid, but they had to like lower the textures and get rid of ray tracing. Which of those sounds better to you? the ray tracing, which is basically much more accurate lighting and reflective stuff. It makes the game just look a lot better, or have the more smooth frame rates. Which one matters more to you? Leon, this is what I think too, man. He says launch lineups won't matter in 2 years. Same opinion, man. That's exactly how I feel. Disc version. Okay, Hype SCN says quick resume. I'm with you there, man. I think quick resume is pretty bomb. Ray tracing's a runner-up, though. I really do want to see ray tracing. Joey, honestly, the quick resume is OP. I think it was Pegasus, and he was like bouncing around between multiple fighting games and practicing in all of them at once. It was pretty crazy. I fell really far behind in the chat. Let's see. Perpmindus says Best Buy was smooth for me. Okay. It was not for me, but I'm glad it was for you, dude. That's awesome. Let's see. I'm still... Games Lord, I am 70% PS5 camp, 30% Xbox Series X camp. I was 50-50 recently, but that changed. Series X near omnipotent backwards compatibility is awesome, but Microsoft isn't taking new gen as serious as their acquisitions might suggest. I don't think I have a comment on that one. I'm not sure I 100% understand. I think the idea is that they're not utilizing their hardware as much as they could. I don't think anybody's going to be doing that for the immediate future, but I could see that. I'm not going to argue it or anything. I could see it. I really think of Xbox. See, and I disagree with this. Barnock says if Xbox really wants to compete with PlayStation, they got to have more console exclusives that you can't get on PC or anywhere else. That's just not their direction. All they care about, and this is true, you make money the more users you have. You make more money the more users you have. It's not about console sales. PlayStation knocked it out of the park this last gen, yes, because they made great games, but because they made great games, they just had so many users purchasing on their marketplace. But that marketplace could be anywhere. But through all the software sales, all the DLC, all the platform exclusive stuff, they sold a lot to their user base. Whereas Xbox, their user base, they now just want it to be everybody. They want to be on mobile, they want to be on PC, they want to be on console, which are the three major markets in gaming. And if you want to play on consoles, get a Series S or X. If you want to play on PC, play on your PC. If you want to play on mobile, get a Game Pass Ultimate subscription. You could stream xCloud. And by doing that, they allow so many more users to enter the base than simply just the one console. And then they can make more money as long as they make good games. Which, okay, they didn't make that many great games at the beginning of this gen. Oh, wait, they acquired 10 more studios and bought Bethesda. So now that's why I'm saying Xbox is setting themselves up for success. If you think like console sales is all that matters, then I don't know, man. I'd encourage you to kind of look into some various things that it's not necessarily as a business what matters most. What matters most is you making quality games and keeping your user base around. And by having all these new studios and by buying Bethesda, that's them saying, look, we're going to make some good games for you. We're going to do our best to. This is how serious we are about it. We're going to spend $7.5 billion to do it. At least that's my opinion. But if you want to disagree, I get it. Anyways, okay, so the question I asked earlier, I've seen the answers now about like the frame rates or ray tracing. See, Barnock says the ray tracing is more important. Sync says frame rates. Chive says ray tracing. Quest mode says he says less frame rate, so I'm assuming that means ray tracing. Marcus says ray tracing. Jimmy says ray tracing. Interesting. Lots of ray tracing. Retro Gamer, 1440p, 60 FPS with ray tracing is good enough. You little cop-out. I mean, yeah, if 1440p, that's true. Maybe. if you want to get the best of both worlds, but I'm still going to take that as a cop-out. Ferris says frame rates. Another for ray tracing all the way. Depends on the game, really. I like this answer Mighty Spork says. 120 FPS is rad in Gears, and it still looks great. So, yeah. I think that's a big answer. So far, it seems like you guys favor ray tracing over frame rates, so that's pretty interesting. I'm the same, by the way. I would prefer ray tracing over frame rates. However, I agree with Mighty Spork that it really depends on the game. If I was playing Hellblade, if I was playing Hellblade, I would want ray tracing way more than frame rates, because I just want to be immersed into that story and into that just game, and not like, it's not about it being competitive or the gameplay or whatever. It's just about me being in that world, and I want that world to look the best possible. So I would say ray tracing. But if I was playing something like Doom Eternal, where things are really fast paced and it's all about the gameplay and shit gets really insane, then the frame rate would be more important to me, because I'm not really gonna have time to look at the visuals anyway. So I guess it just depends on the game. That, like, if you want something to look better or feel better potentially, that's, yeah. So I would say, like, more competitive stuff, frame rate's more important. But if it's like kind of a single player adventure, then maybe ray tracing. Anyways, Joey said frame rates too. Ravi says for frame rates too. So maybe that did get a little bit more balanced. Let's see. Fell pretty far behind. I'm gonna start wrapping up soon, folks. I don't remember if there was another piece of news I had to share. And there is an Xbox celebration today, by the way. If you go to YouTube, I mostly just wanted to share about the whole, like, for some reason PS5 is loading not as fast as the Series X for certain backwards compatible games. And also the whole storage situation with PS5. Those are the two things I just want to share news-wise, but mostly I just kind of wanted to hang out with you and address your chat messages and see your thoughts on things. Let's see. I'm probably going to get the PS5 because I love Spider-Man. Totally. Oh, Mighty Spork. But Legion also looks hella... See, that's the one I keep forgetting. I'm trying to think of these third-party games that are coming out for both these systems, and I keep forgetting Watch Dogs Legion, which has dope ray tracing. I see that. Ray tracing is cool and all, but my frame rates are more important. Yeah. I see Vermin here. If it's multiplayer, I'll go for higher frame rate. I would agree. Yeah. If it's multiplayer, 100%, I will choose frame rate at the end of the day. If the TV supports it, that's the thing. That's the beauty. If you got the TCL 6 series like Chives did, then you don't really have to worry about going 120. Because you're just going to have 4K 60 in the end. So a lot of the times, ray tracing is going to be what a lot of people are going to just get, because that's not reliant on the TV. That's reliant on the software. But the TV, if it can support 120 frames, then you're good. But if it can't, then you're all ray tracing, baby. Let's see. I see Oh, Tintin brings up a neat story, by the way. Tintin Thomas, Demon Souls looks amazing and it has no ray tracing. Yeah. I was pretty shocked when I heard that, because that game does look absolutely phenomenal. In terms of visuals, that's probably one of the most surprising games that I have seen this generation. And yeah, that looks phenomenal. Julian Silva, I cannot do a flip. I do not know how to do a flip, so I'm afraid I will not be able to do that for you, sir. Let's see. Yeah, Buck Rogers. Software sales matter. Software sales is how they make their money. That really is. Like, software sales is what makes money. It's not hardware sales. So, and if you just have more platforms for people to buy your software, then that's a win. That's a freaking win. Barnock, what are the new gen console specs compared to on PC wise? I mean, that's not really a comparable thing, because PCs, there's just so many different kinds of specs. It's not like, every PC has the same specs. It just depends on what you put in it. So, but in order to buy or put together a PC that's as powerful as either of these systems, you're going to have to spend $1,000. You're you're gonna have to spend twice the money. So that's basically it. Okay. Yeah, for fast. Yeah, we're gonna start wrapping up soon. Is my thing? Let me refresh my Amazon. I got it through Amazon. Out for delivery still. The second I see that says delivered, I am leaving. I wish I put it to my place. It would be here so much sooner. I know, because the place I had it go to, it's way more out of the way. Let's see. Mainish. This question was asked earlier. What games would you suggest for someone stepping into the world of Xbox? I mean, Gears and Halo. Gears and Halo are like the top dogs. Master Chief Collection is the greatest entry point to getting into Halo, and you have access to that through Game Pass. But even if you don't, Master Chief Collection is stupendous. It is such a freaking phenomenal pack. I would say Master Chief Collection hands down, but otherwise, again, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, gorgeous game. That is not exclusive, but the sequel will be. And Ori, I think Ori's also a great one. Those are kind of the three that come to my mind. Games Lord, Sony has shown a lot of gameplay so far and high quality visuals, unlike Microsoft. Of the top of the head, Miles Morales, Demon's Souls, Ratchet and Clank, Godfall, Microsoft, Binary, Infinite. It's Bright Infinite, not Binary. Yeah, no, I would agree. I mean, not anymore, because Xbox this week, they've been putting out a lot of Series X gameplay videos. But yeah, in terms of like the earlier stuff, yeah, PlayStation was showing a lot more PS5 gameplay. I 100% agree with that. So yeah, Ravi, Series S is doing ray tracing. Yes, it is. That is actually another news story that came out this past week. Series S is capable of ray tracing, and it's pretty damn great. Pretty damn great. Guys, I'm gonna start transitioning out. Is there any final questions or thoughts that you want to hit? I don't have too much for you. I just was curious about all what's going through your heads, and I'm just freaking stoked because I'm going to be setting up my LG C10 65-inch. Holy shit. I'm broke as freaking hell because of that. That thing was worth 4 times what the Series X is, and yeah, I'm very anxious to bust them both out on that setup, and god damn it, I'm so broke because of that. Hey, if you want to support the stream, I'm kidding. That just goes to keep me alive. But yeah, so any other final comments before we start wrapping up here? Like Joey said earlier here, Demon's Souls is the one game that made me get a PS5 right now. For me, it's Ratchet and Clank. Like, Ratchet and Clank, man, that's the one I'm like, damn it. Spider-Man as well, but yeah. Chives, I don't know if he's gone yet, but he asked earlier if I'm going to make like a first impressions vid. Yes, there's going to be like some kind of reaction of some kind. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to structure it. I'm going to kind of get to work on that right after we end this, but yeah. Let's see. What the frick? Is Xbox watching this? We are live at Xbox on YouTube. Did literally the Xbox channel just find this stream and plug themselves in? Did that just happen? They totally did. The freaking Xbox channel plugged in their own shit on my stream. Did that really just happen? Did that really just happen? The Xbox channel shows up to plug in their own thingy. That's freaking funny. That's hilarious. Anyways, let's see. Car servers are down. Just employees. I don't know why Julian keeps asking me to do somersaults and backflips and breaking my neck and shit when I don't know how to do those things. I just don't, man. I'm sorry. I don't know. Just got a new Xbox at Target last night. Son of a bitch, Nate on Mars. You son of a biscuit. Okay, final thoughts. Just got the new Xbox and TV, so I'm good. My brother got PS5 and still it's... How did your brother get a... I don't... Good as played, Pat. I'm sorry, but I'm personally not going to believe you because the PS5 is not out for another 2 days. So I don't know. Apparently the official Xbox channel is in this chat. Dude, that's insane! Like, I just got the new Shock Blue controller today. It looks gorgeous. Why is everybody so into this blue Xbox controller? I don't know what it is about it. Chester, you better stream to get that money back, Lamau. Well, why would I stream, Chester? Nobody donated the stream. Everybody's just here for fun. Nobody donated. So I think your theory is incorrect, sir. But no, I'm kidding, man. I just ready for Demon's Souls Spider-Man, the big flex, all expensive but worth it, dude. So I can't believe I got that shit, man. I just went on a trip to see my mom in San Diego, and I like told her what I got, and she's like, "Are you insane?" I'm like, okay, look, I saved up a lot to put into it, so it's not like I have to pay all of it off. I paid off like 60% of it. But anyways, hopefully it's an actual gameplay, not more cutscenes. They also has earlier. Maybe Uncle Phil has a job for you. Hey, that'd be awesome. I'd love that, man. I love that. Hey, Xbox, if you're watching this, send me a Series S. I would love to review that and compare it to the Series X. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not. Please do that. So I can have one in my room. I can have, like, I have my 1S, or yeah, I have my 1S there, and I'm gonna be selling that thing. So Xbox, if you're watching this, it's your boy. But anyways, so I am gonna skedaddle, guys. Freaking appreciate you. This is like the highest number of people we have had in a stream in a long ass time. And I hope you have a lovely launch day if you're getting Xbox, and a lovely launch week if you're getting PlayStation. That's in a couple days. I will see you in a first impressions video, and also a reaction to Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories of some kind. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that or how I'm gonna do that. Appreciate you so much. I will catch you later. Have a good week. Be geek, be proud, be awesome.